now.
Yeah, and I think this is a really good chance for Luminosity on split. I mean, they took Sentinels out on this map, regarded as potentially the best split team in North America. Maybe Envy's up there too, but that's a huge scalp to take on this map. So right off the get-go, they're going to try to take mid control just in case the Sage was there. But you can see actually the Sage has walled the B site, which allows this mid stack to happen. A huge brawl is about to occur in mid.
You know, we saw this look a good bit yesterday, where that's what they'll do. They'll wall off B, make sure that's not an option. Sometimes they'll take some presence across A, but they're going to fight for mid. The paranoia comes out. That's exactly what they have their eyes set on. Dre gets the first kill. He gets traded out as Dre looks for more. Does a considerable amount of damage, but manages to somehow get away with his life. And I don't think they realized that the wall had a gap in it.
Oof, and look at that. They don't even realize this Sage is in the B site right now. The Sage is behind enemy lines. She's entering defender spawn right now, flanking heaven.
Oh, but Nature's going to be at a great spot, and if it's not him, Stellar's got to go huge. Stellar gets two, holy cow! Gets all the way in there, gets the kills he needs, eventually drops, but that opens up the site for Luminosity. They get the spike down in a 2v2. The problem is both remaining members of Luminosity, worse for wear. They've gotten beat up a little bit. They're a little battered, a little tattered, but they fight to try to make this thing work, and a Proto comes up big, gets the final kill. Luminosity get the pistol.
Yeah, and I think if Luminosity comes through in this series, it's going to be off the back of a Proto. He might not have the best statistics on his team, but given his role as a Sentinel, you'll always see him on this Cypher role. He puts up insane numbers. He has a ridiculously high skill ceiling when it comes to his mechanics. And, I mean, he showed it right there in the pistol round, ending it with a nice 1v2. We're going to see a lot of that from him throughout this game.
See a lot of him, see a lot of Thief. I think well, hang on, because we got a little something cooking by B. There's that slow, and you often see that combined. Yeah, there it is.
Flash up.
Flashes out, moves with the rainbow, but Stellar gets the first. It's a bloodbath. It's a bloodbath. Thief runs after Shot Up, but it doesn't matter because Moose's Roomba gets the kill that he was looking for. Nature's alone here, trying to scurry, trying to find some space. And well, space ran out. Dre with the Bulldog takes care of him. Luminosity take a 2-round lead.
Yeah, and that's just one of the standard anti-eco rounds you've seen out of Luminosity. But we'll probably see a similar setup in many of these rounds where the Sage is going to pre-slow B. And the reason for doing that is just you guarantee a defender cannot push B. And if they do, they better have a movement ability to get out. So a Jet, a Reyna, a Raze. Those are the only people that are going to challenge that slow at B.
And you know, you often see that. We saw it yesterday a good bit combined with the Raze grenade. So like you're just a sitting duck there, man. If they guess right, if that slow orb is there, and then you're getting blown to smithereens with a nade, it's just such a devastating position to be in. Here we see Luminosity on the bonus. Got a couple of SMGs. And Immortals looking to get on the board here.
Yeah, and this is where the difference in quality of splits teams arises. How they fight for mid. So if Immortals can win these battles in mid, they're going to control this half. But given the fact that LG picked this map, they're probably going to be the better team at this.
Problem here is that Moose got through, but the rest of his team did not, and Immortals were able to anchor that out, but there's the anchor that drops. Luminosity get through, they get the kill on to be Heaven, and that's going to give them room to work with. And if that's not enough, Moose can be an absolute nuisance as he continues to push forward. Man, that turret, that was beautiful. Nature gets the shots, Nature gets the kills as Moose gets dispatched. But you see Luminosity turn their attention towards A.
They did, and they're all in the A site, but look where the alarm bot is. That tells Immortals no one has pushed towards A main.
Yep. Thief here in a decent spot. The chemical Spidey sense is tingling, finds him, delivers him. As he drops a Proto, trying to play around the camera, waiting for the members to push onto him. That's gonna get some info. Nice shots from Dre, but just left alone. It's Sean with 2 health. There's not a whole lot you can do there. Immortals get on the board.
Very clean retake right there from Immortals. They were patient in the 3-on-3. If they would have rushed into the Reyna camping Heaven, Thief could have came up really big right there. But they singled him out, get the 3-on-2, and then quickly pounce at that point.
Very Very well played indeed, and I think for Immortals, you know, after dropping those first two, we talk about this a good bit, but it's really hard to stress the importance of a team if they're able to win the pistol the following round and then win the bonus from a financial standpoint. They're cruising.
Yeah, and what's nice for Nature right here is he can do this same A setup because he didn't even have to use it. So all of his utility is in the same exact spot, and that's nice because he can save his later setup still.
Luminosity should be in a position.
Look at this setup, Doug. Look at this sick double peek they have going.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, we'll see what they can do to get through. You see a lot of noise from Luminosity being made over by A, but the spike is actually at B. There's that high-low that you were talking about. Shot up, wanting to swing, and I mean, he doesn't get punished. He doesn't get challenged at all. Thief just sitting so patiently right around the corner, and Shot up still not feeling super comfortable about wanting to go all the way through, waiting for teammates to show up. The smoke's going to go out as well. Thief is about to have quite a few players walk into his crosshair. He can't even get one. His Shot up trades him out. A Protoss for the help as well. He drops, but it's Dre who shows up just in the nick of time for two. Gangsta trades him out, and Moose is left alone.
Wow, what insane aggression coming out of Immortals, taking B main for their own, pushing all the way through. I thought Thief was going to be able to stop that push, but the dark cover to block off Market, allowing the push to happen even further.
Yeah,
this is incredibly aggressive. I don't think I've seen something like this. I mean, they just kept pushing. There's really no need to. But they're so confident in their aim. And like I said, LG plays a similar style. I don't know if they have that type of confidence, though. That was crazy.
Well, if there was a time for them to have that confidence, it's here with Sheriffs in hand. I think it's been so well documented just how filthy they can be in positions like this where you really might not expect much. Keep a close eye. Oh, no. Oh, no. Shot-up's just on the flank. He's got a Bucky, and he doesn't get anything with it. It's actually Dre with the Sheriff that we highlighted earlier who takes care of him. Numbers advantage still in favor of Immortals as it goes from bad to worse for Luminosity. Stellar and a Proto left alone. We talked about a Proto. Talked about his aim. Good for one, but not good for a second. Chemicals blast across his screen. Almost impossible to deal with to take the lead for Immortals.
That's a very big pace-setting round from Immortals. They knew the economy was low on Luminosity, so the way they approached that round, they just rushed down mid. They sent it, and that's going to put, you know, the fear of God in Luminosity when they approach middle. They're going to feel very scared, like anyone could be anywhere. But if you look, Immortals is going back to this passive setup now. So it was all just kind of like a bait, given the fact that Luminosity had no money.
Yeah, a little like, that make you guys think twice about it, right? The wall goes up again, the corner gets shot out, so there's room to work with if you're Luminosity. And again, for Immortals, understanding that has already dropped, or at least that portion of the wall has dropped, you kind of have to respect it, right? You have to pull some over to ensure that there's nothing happening.
Yeah, it's very important in these pro matches to not let a Sage Wall just remain full, because the enemies can see that Sage Wall is intact and that no one can get through it. So they'll rotate away from it, thus bolstering the defense somewhere else. Right. But breaking it makes them rotate back towards the wall and kind of evens things out again.
Right. Or at least think twice about it, right? Like, exactly. you just have to respect it. But even here, the wall went up and yeah, it got shot down, but the effect was the same. Look at the aggression yet again from Shot Up. He gets so much information too. He's able to get away with his life. You see them starting to rotate over. There's a showstopper coming out of Moose, the res onto a Proto to bring Luminosity back to full strength. Nothing doing so far from Moose, but it's the rifle that does the damage. Shot Up, still playing on the site. He's got the Empress. But he may not need to use it here as Moose gets picked apart. A very impressive retake from Immortals on the site.
Oof, that was a gorgeous dismiss coming out of Shot, followed by the Leer in the air. I mean, that takes the Razor out of the picture. She can't break that when she's in her ult form. So well played by Shot Up, and then guarded by Nature, who popped both of the Molotovs to protect him into the site. That was very well thought out from Immortals. They have fully taken the lead now and have all the momentum in this game.
They do, and they have a couple of ults, right, that could even pile it on more. They've got the showstopper of their own. They have their own lockdown. You imagine you get a little sniff of something if you're Nature, and also understanding that Luminosity's on a live buy again. Ooh, we might see some of that here.
Oh my god, how aggressive Immortals is in mid again. Again, it's because this Sage Wall's up at B.
Right. Well, and it's what we saw a couple of rounds ago, right? When Luminosity was last on a pistol, what they full sent down the middle of the map. They took that space away and shoved it down their throats, and you're seeing a slight variation. But for them, it's the same story, different chapter.
Yeah, this round seems all but over unless your boy Dre can come up huge with some Sheriff headshots.
Which I was going to say he has before. But, I mean, Immortals have really just been clicking the last few rounds, Sean, and it's kind of hard when you've got a team playing with this much confidence, playing with this much aggression, and understanding where to push where it's going to hurt them most. And not just where, but when. That's so hard to weather.
Yeah, this is scary because Shot Up now has had an immense amount of success in the early rounds playing aggressive. We've seen it at B main, at A main, at middle. He's all over the map, and that is incredibly difficult to read if you're LG. You don't know where to use utility at the start of the round. You don't know where he's going to be, and he's willing to take these aggressive duels that most people aren't. So it's hard to counter on the fly.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly is. They're going to have to come up with a solution. They're going to have to show something different. There's that wall again. Who's going to shoot it out? That seems to, that's been the story for the last few rounds, right? Wall goes up, a little pew-pew, break that thing down, and then everyone kind of slows down a bit and resets. But again, look at Shot Up.
Yeah, he is really being a nuisance. He's constantly just prodding everywhere. This wall is at B, so you can't rush B. If you rush mid, there's going to be a stack mid because the wall's up. If you rush A, all of Nature's utility is down, and you know, Shot Up will be there as well. Immortals is just doing such a good job of not having an easy choice for their opponents right now.
I mean, you just suffocate things. You take options away, and all of a sudden you're kind of left with, well, crap, what do we do? Right? And even here, you saw Stellar puts the wall up to get onto B. They think twice about it. All right, here we go. Here's the paranoia. Chemicals with the showstopper. Good for one. Dre taken out. But the spike's going to get onto the site through B. That same wall that we were talking about earlier proves to be really the way in. But JC Stanley up top. JC Stanley, good for him. Shot Up got in on the action as well. But it doesn't matter, as there are only two members of Luminosity left. Moose drops Stellar left alone in a 1v3. Not going to have any heroics, no magic this round. Immortals up by 4.
Wow, Doug. I don't know what... This is very impressive from Immortals. This is the best split game I've ever seen Immortals play. They definitely are ready to play this map for, in my opinion, the first time in the Immortals history in this game. This is very, very impressive how they're approaching this half and just how they're pairing their utilities with their peaks and rotating around with the Sage walls. I love what I'm seeing out of Immortals.
And they're clicking, bro, and they're clicking in ways that are really scary. And look, for those who may have been watching and following along with the narrative for VCT, here's the thing about Immortals, and even prior to VCT, really. For Immortals, it's like they have a factory of just putting out cracked out young stars who can produce at the highest level consistently, right? They've gone through roster changes and they just continue to bring in raw talent, and the team clicks. Right, and it works for them. But even with that, you kind of see them, they qualify early on. It was a bit quiet on how they did it. And you kind of wonder, okay, what Immortals are we going to get here? For those of you who have been high on Immortals, who have been buying all the stocks possible and seeing that thing go to the moon, this is why. Because they're so good.
Yeah, they have grown to be a bit more tactical than they once were. But yeah, I mean, again, the Sage wall is such a problem. I think we're going to get a counter wall over it. So this is going to get wild. And Gangsta's ready. He is so ready for this counter wall. This is going to be awesome. Oh no, he's leaving.
Oh boy. They just cut noise. I really love this from Luminosity, right? Because the entire time they've been playing it shoot the wall down and then go somewhere else. But this time they cut noise. The wall doesn't go down and then they full send. But the thing is, Gangsta's not going to get any opening picks, but the pistol, like, full rush.
Oh, the slow nade, Doug, the slow nade.
ideally, this pistol full rush should be netting a kill for them, but it doesn't. So that's just really going to put Immortals in another strong position where they can use the lockdown, where they have the gun advantage, and where they should be able to get the retake just fine. And then also to add insult to injury, JC Stanny just on the other side of the wall.
What are these guys on Luminosity about to do? There's no way they can survive this.
No, man, it's a firing squad. It's just a bloody disaster, right? And that's what I was saying. When you get pistols in like that, when it's quiet and you blast onto a site, knowing you have the gun disadvantage, the ace in the hole is you play through the chaos, you get a couple of picks to take the advantage, but when nobody's home, it's just really easy for Immortals to reset and take it back.
Yeah, I mean, that really, it seems like such a sick idea, right? Oh, there's Sage walls, and they rotate away. What if we walled over it? That would be so cool. They'll never expect that. But they hear it, and then they just throw slows from heaven with paint shells into the site, and your wall has prevented you from watching the flank. So they actually have a guy go behind the wall, which now you're completely boxed in. You can't go spawn, you can't go back into B main, you can't go heaven, you can't go anywhere. That's a hard situation they found themselves in.
It is, and it was, I mean, the truth is it was self-inflicted, but the wall goes up again, the wall gets shot down this time. No monkey business. As Luminosity, again, Sean, just look for answers, try to find something.
Yeah, they have none. They haven't found any answers. They're looking everywhere. They don't know what to do. Omen's about to paranoia through to heaven. That'll blind potentially all three.
Yep, the showstopper, the blast packs, Moose needs to go big, blinds it, or excuse me, shoots it into that corner. No damage done. The space was gathered, but look at Moose right now. He's alone on the site.
Oh my god, they've retaken heaven too. They're so quick. Immortals is all over this.
JC Stanny gets punished by Thief. Rare gunfight losses. A couple of kills really seem to be going Luminosity's direction here, but shot up yet again. Guy who's been terrorizing. Luminosity has taken position. He's arrived at the scene, and now he's looking to get something cooking. A 4v3 here in favor of Luminosity as Immortals look to steal another round away.
And this is where the Empress shines. So even though it's a 4-on-3 in Luminosity's favor, that Empress could be the difference maker here on the retake.
Love the stack. I love how they're setting up the crossfire, though, from Luminosity. Shot up is left alone. You ask for it to shine, and it's not going to be shining this time. A bit dull for Immortals, but Luminosity take a round, so hopefully to stop this bleeding, to stop the snowball that's currently barricading their way.
Yeah, very well done. That's a slight adjustment right there from Luminosity. They went a little bit faster, you know, quickly took B Heaven with that paranoia and a Raze ult combo. I mean, how are they going to do that, though, moving forward without the Raze ult to fall back on? I think this round they might start with getting Stellar that ult orb at B, so that way he has a res on deck. But after that, I mean, your guess is as good as mine because nothing has worked out for them.
Cover going out.
The one thing about the wall... Well, all right, so they shoot it down again. Keep a close eye and let ult orb on Stellar, as you mentioned. This time they're going in quiet. They're going in quiet, but shot up's there. He dismisses, dances around, tries to give him a little two-step, but isn't able to get away with much more. The kill goes in their favor. The ult orb is actually going into the pocket of Moose, but they're going to get out.
Yeah, I kind of like that they switched up the pace, right? They just did something very loose. They just walked into B. And I would imagine they're putting themselves in Luminosity's shoes, and Luminosity would expect them to get that ult orb.
Yeah.
They would expect them to break the wall, exactly like they've been doing. So it is a good adjustment right there to Luminosity, and a 4-on-4 does favor the attackers. Regrouping towards this B site, though, where there's a 3-stack, ooh, I don't know about this.
Well, and the thing is, Immortals they really have no reason to think there's anything else going around on the map. Look at the Killjoy utility on A. There's nobody going in main. The turret's there to ensure no one's gone up ramps, and you're watching the middle of the map, so you can really gamble on B, and it's a very confident gamble. But that said, Luminosity managed to get onto the site just fine as Nature's left alone.
Yeah, Nature... He's been taken out of the picture so far this game. He has not had much action.
Never be a radiant.
Very unlucky. I mean, I'm sure a lot of Sentinels have had that same feeling, right? Where the other team just goes to the opposite site. It also happens in pro matches.
He's like, guys, I just want to play the game. Let me play the game.
It's like even if someone goes to his site, they avoid him at all costs. So he doesn't even get, normal fights. The life of a Sentinel.
sad one indeed. And but you know, you really see the impact, right? We saw it in the last round. His utility was so well placed. He doesn't.
Yeah,
they
he's
don't
scaring
have
them
to
off.
play
He's
with it.
making them go B.
Luminosity thunderfooting their way towards B, not shooting the wall down this time, but they get the ult orb, and this time it goes into the hands of Moose. He has the showstopper. They may be cooking up something very similar to what we saw a couple of rounds ago.
Yeah, but look, Shot Up is now in the middle of mid. He is ready to disrupt this play yet again. He's predicting they're going to do this. And with him getting all that info, I think this A play is going to be telegraphed kind of early.
Yeah. Because at this point,
they can't expect him to be getting all this info right now. Someone is going to get peeled off of B very soon. But it might be too late at this point. I mean, these guys are... There's the Omen ult to clear B main, but it's too late.
Paranoia, Moose once again with the showstopper, but nature stays alive. Right? Like, there's no value. Yeah, they got the space, but we've seen how good Immortals can be on a retake. They've got everything they want right now.
I don't know. They don't have a lockdown, though, to retake this site. It's going to be hard. This fight is very hard.
I know exactly. Proto goes huge there, and he used the Nurdle Theft. That's going to give away everything that Immortals had hidden away. Luminosity looking like they've got something special going on here. Thief gets onto one. Drake gets one as well. The rifles from Luminosity come alive. A flawless round to take what looked disastrous initially, Sean, to 7-5 at half. An excellent recovery by Luminosity.
Yeah. I mean, they went from being, clear favorites at the start of the game to I don't have any idea how they're going to win this game to, well, that went pretty well, actually, for them. I don't know how we've seesawed back and forth so many times in one half, Doug, but here we are, and I think, either team can win this game. That's a standard half of split.
Yeah. It was an emotional roller coaster, and I think the interesting thing is we saw adjustments from both sides, right? Like, Immortals felt like they had a good read on Luminosity, and then Luminosity threw something a little different at them, and it just kept kind of going back and forth, and it was the end of the half, the second quarter, if you will, where things really started clicking for both teams, and we saw both of them from positions of strength. But now we're going to see Immortals on the attack. They have a 2-round lead, and they're fully, no bones about it. They have made their intentions very clear. They're going to A.
Whew. It's going to be a hard retake for them on a pistol run. They don't have many abilities to hold this site with, but the Frenzy's holding these tight angles could just net them 2 frags apiece.
He's got a pretty good spot in a crossfire as well. Boost down to 21 health. Love that. So trying to buy some time. Nature back on site. He's going to drop as well. 1 left and not around for long. An excellent retake from Luminosity. They pick up right where they left off in the previous half to drop the gap to 1.
Yeah, and that round is why we saw Immortals approach the first half the way they did, right? It's not difficult for these pro teams to retake the A site if they have Heaven control. And that's why it was so important for Nature to maintain Heaven control. So you can see Luminosity maintains Heaven control, they maintain screens control, and once the retake comes in, there's just not that many places to hide in the A site.
No options at all. Immortals not choosing to force up. They're just going to carry pistols. Gangsta, the one exception, is going to have a Sheriff. Maybe try to snag a couple of ult orbs and get that res online a bit earlier than usual. Meanwhile, for Luminosity, Spectres across the board. And Immortals kind of going back to what we saw on A the last round, where they're just full
stack. They don't have a jet to get through these trips, and I don't know if Raze is going to be aware of that deep trip.
The camera goes down. A Proto understands what's going on. There's the tripwire. Moose gets the kill. Dre goes in aggressive. He's going hunting, baby, and he's going to line him up, get everything that he wants. Stellar gets the last one. Excellent round by Luminosity.
Whew, your boy Dre. His resurgence as a player after, the heartbreaking, the whole thing with the PUBG guys getting cut from 100 Thieves, right? Everyone's heart went out to those guys. They were great players and people, but it just wasn't working out at the time. Your boy Dre has proven that he can bounce back. And not only that, he is a star player on this team. He is so good now.
And the
Very
fun thing about him is he does it on Raze, he does it on Omen. I mean, you give him the tools, the agent doesn't matter, right? He's gonna do what he's gonna do. And so far, it's looking pretty good as Luminosity again. Very rough start to the beginning of this map, but they figure things out. They get us to 7 apiece. For Immortals here.
Be sketchy for Nature. They hear the turret. They know it's here.
Oh, man. And the paranoia comes out. That's going to push everything back. But yeah,
look
exactly.
at the reaction from Immortals here.
Yeah, they're just going to go away from it. Wall goes up. Proto playing around his cages. Very timid as they try to move forward. Stellar dropping a couple of shots up onto Heaven. Shot up, trades it out, however, as he gets a second one onto a Proto. The spike is going to go down. The 2 remaining members of Luminosity, they're both going to be coming in from the same side to try to get this retake. That would have been a big one, but Shot up stuffs it. He gets a 4th one on the round to take the lead for Immortals yet again.
Great in-game leading from Nature right there. So Nature is holding the A push, and he sees, you know, the dark cover goes away. Someone breaks the turret. He peeks. There's 2 players there. He sees a dark cover come through the wall. So he's taken out 1, and he can account for 2 more. That means if his 4 teammates hit the B site, at worst, they'll have a 4-on-2. Now, unfortunately for them, it's a Cypher and a Sage. So Luminosity had thought this out really well in how to slow down the 4-on-2 hit for a long time. But it didn't matter. It was way too difficult for those 2 to hold the site.
Out of charges.
It was. Oh, look at this. It's from the opposite side of the map, but it's the same play. The paranoia, the showstopper, and while he's not going to get any kills, what he is going to get is a ton of info. You've got to understand there, the play's not at B. They immediately rotate over to A because they understand that's where the hit's coming through. You see, Chemicals has gotten onto the site first, still waiting to get the spike down, and you can't when a Proto's in your front pocket. Gangsta trades it out. But boys on the side of Luminosity pick them apart. Stanley's left alone. And in a 1v3, Sean.
Ooh,
Well,
that'll help. That will
okay.
help. Immediately shut down by Moose, though. It's going to sound so bizarre for me to say, but I feel like Gangsta getting absolutely jebaited by the trip. So he takes out a Proto, so the trip is no longer activated. That's why he's had to stop where he was and didn't push elbow. But after he takes out a Proto, obviously the trip is deactivated. He still shot it. But when he shot it, someone comes through the dark cover and takes him out. And it's tragic. It was absolutely tragic to watch.
Oh, it's the little things, and we talked about this earlier in the week, man, but it's those tiny things that can make the most drastic of differences. Immortals here on a relatively light buy. I think Shot Up's the only one with a rifle. At least that's what it looked like. And he's got the Empress too. So this might be cook up a little something. See if that Empress, maybe with a kill or 2, can crack this map open. But you take the middle of the map. But look at how Luminosity are playing this, Sean. They've taken full B control. They're going to wrap around him, and the wall's blocking it too. They have to fight back from where they came from or go through vents to get some space. But Moose has already gotten there. Dre's there as well. They realize that they're in serious trouble, and they've got to call in resources.
Oh, this is big trouble, though, for LG now, because now they've lost their B presence, right? They have to over-rotate towards this B site, which they kind of are, but they also are unsure. They've lost full map control. It went from being a great scenario to a horrible one.
Stopper from Chemicals, not even going to get a chance as Steve takes care of him. Stellar also able to catch in on that, and Proto looking for another one. He and Stellar clean the round up. Luminosity take the lead, and talk about roller coasters in the first half. That round alone was just nuts.
Yeah, that round was actually insane. And again, it's just a very unfortunate timing going for Immortals. Shut Up turns around to drop the spike, and that's when someone swings from under hell, takes him out. At that point, I mean, the round just flips again to LG. But this is the buy round. This is what Immortals saved that prior round for. And I think they're going to take some time to think this through, change their approach. This is a super important round for their economy moving forward.
Well, I mean, for the map, right, Sean?
Yeah.
You think about, we're getting to the wee hours of the map where you can't afford mistakes.
And it's such a hard round to win, too, because you're dealing with a Res, a Killjoy ult, and an Omen ult. mean, those are some pretty powerful ults on split.
Yep.
So they could get, you know, faked. They could get sight hit on. There's so many options right now on the LG side.
For Proto, well, for Luminosity, really, a Proto being 1 point away from the neural theft could make a notable difference, especially when you're going up against so many tools that have the opportunity to kind of like swing you back and forth, right? And kind of like bully you around and keep you guessing. That could be a notable difference. We'll see if they choose to play. So far, it doesn't look like they're posted up to play that way, but a kill in the hands of a Proto really could be a difference maker.
And I mentioned it before, but it's worth pointing out to any new viewers. You'll often see Cyphers put trips inside of ropes, and that's because you can ignore that aspect of middle until that trip is broken. So you can see a Proto and Thief are doubled up in a site, and they can ignore ropes until that trip goes down.
Right. And then the wall goes up on the other side. Really, you don't have to play mid at all. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you've got the wall on one side. You have the trip that you were just mentioning on the other. And
that trip is going to go down right now. Shot Up is going straight to ropes to break it. This is a very common thing you see in pro play. So he's going to break that trip soon. It looks like he's waiting for his teammates to get in some kind of position.
Or potentially... Oh. They might be waiting for smoke from JC Stanley before they go. Okay, the tripwire's down, the spike is down too, and now they take that space, they drop that bit of utility, and then they just, I mean, they shut up.
And look, they put some doubt in Stellar, so he walked down the stairs. He wasn't sure if he should rotate back towards the A site, but a Proto's actually making the right play here. Thief has pushed through A into spawn, getting all of the info.
Here we go. There's a lockdown. Nature good for one. The paint cans looking like they're trying to destroy it. They do destroy it, but the kills go in favor of Immortals. Luminosity just left with 3, but it's 3 really freaking good ones. But Immortals stuff it again. It's just down to Thief, Sean. And he's been in this position so many times, but can he go up big? Can he come up absolutely huge? No Empress. Dodges the paranoia. To get some, I mean, if he can get one and try to isolate these 1v1s, he might have a chance. But if you're Immortals, you just right, like you can't give them the 1v1s. You've got to remain patient. You can't give Thief a chance to make something happen. Nature stuffs it. 3 kills on the round for him. We're tied up again, Sean. Ooh.
Man, just when you're starting to count Immortals out, they go on these crazy runs where they just win all their duels. But again, Nature, recalling the alarm bot and putting it on the flank potentially saved them from a disastrous 1-on-3 scenario from Thief. Because he was on a really, really strong flank.
It just took, I mean, it took forever.
Yeah, it took forever, and then the alarm bot gets activated. I mean, we've all been there before. If you play this game, it's not a good feeling.
All right, check this. Moose with a Bucky, playing tight, not showing himself, waiting to see if they're going to push into B. Also a Bucky in the hands of Gray. The wall goes up. It's a bit of a different look from Luminosity here.
And you can see, actually, it's funny because when you watch these pros with the Bucky, they'll ping the ground in front of them to check out the distance and get the optimal distance for a right click. It's so devastating.
They just make it look so easy.
They make it look so... Look, he pinged the ground 7 meters. Boom,
nah, bro.
It's just free.
And that you've got to respect tight angles in a situation like this where you understand they may not have ideal... Oh, no! Oh, no! He totally fumbles it! He goes up just a bit too high, smacks his head on the wall, and then gets dropped right back down to the ground. Stellar playing tight with the Bucky as well, but the wall goes up. Waiting to see if anyone's going to go up top. The thing is, they have info, and they have more Buckies. Ray won a Proto with the Sheriff, and Thief gets it too! Are you kidding me? Shot him solo, what a round by Luminosity! They do it again in thrifty fashion!
Oh my goodness, a Proto just comes storming through the spawn, close it out with 3 beautiful Sheriff headshots. Oh my goodness, what do you do if you're Immortals right now? You feel like this was your chance to get back in the game, take the lead. You're on attack side of split, already hard enough as it is. The thrifty win coming in from LG.
Yes, this should do.
Oh no. Look at the economy on Immortals right now, Doug.
Sean, how demoralizing can something like that be?
Oh, it hurts really bad as an in-game leader because typically rounds like that happen from individual mistakes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Luminosity, 1-round lead. Wall goes up on B this time, blocking any shenanigans coming in from garage. Got a bit of slow across the middle of the map. The thing is here for Immortals, Spike is still down by B. It's out by
Look at this setup. Omen's jiggle peeking heaven. Raze has a paint shells out. He spots. Raze paint shells. He smokes. They still have heaven control. Oh dear. This is trouble for Immortals because LG is making things very difficult. Just like how they did to LG.
Yeah, and well, okay, now that wall goes down, that opens up a lot. The wall goes down and he gets the kill onto B. But I like what we're seeing out of Luminosity, excuse me. They're not over-rotating. Right? They aren't fully sending to B after that initial pick.
I foresee a very difficult round, though, for a Proto. A Proto's going to have to come up real big right here. Because they're going to come flooding out of heaven and A main.
Yeah, he stuck it, man. He stuck that TP. A Proto down. He does not go huge. He doesn't even get a chance to do much of anything. Gray drops as well. Moose with the showstopper gets to no freaking way. Moose does it. Unbelievable. No. How about that for a Verizon high-speed moment of the match? You've got to be kidding me.
10 seconds left.
Doug.
Sure, I mean, he's got a chance at it too, but he's only got 2 health. Chemicals on the plant. Moose goes in aggressive. Oh, and he delays the plant. That's bloody beautiful. Oh, my gosh.
The red full clutch coming in. Oh, my God. That was gorgeous from Moose. I don't know how he lives through the showstopper, lands on his feet, takes out the third. Oh my God. And then the presence of mind to fake the satchel.
Nah, bro. That's unreal. That was absolutely bonkers.
Oh. It looked like Immortals did everything right, and then there's just one man standing in their way. Unreal.
And the thing is, Sean, we talk about how devastating that thrifty round went. That looked like they should have won. And then you pile it on with that. You're kicking them while they're down.
Holy cow. Immortals, though, bouncing back into it. Yeah, we have to get right back into it. They're getting mid-control. But look at the difference. So this round we have Dre inside of vents. He's just hiding there. And it's because I think he's seen sloppiness from Immortals, right? He hears them dropping in there, breaking the trips, not really caring. But he missed the timing. And look, now Shot Up is going. He's shooting the walls for the trip. He just...
Right. Well, and that's, I think you're absolutely right, Sean. How many times have they been able to drop in events and clear out that trip for free without any contest at all? Dre trying to be sneaky with it. Tries to position there, but as you said, just narrowly misses the timing. But the thing is, look at, oh no, Moose had a chance to take her a shot if he's going to drop, and that should give them some confidence as they go towards A. Here we go, Chemicals with the showstopper. Oh man, again. Thief is just an anchor. Man, the guy just doesn't miss, but Stanny's showing he can do just as well as his opponent did. He's going to get the spike down as well.
Spike planted.
Taylor has a res. He's going to get this guy at male. Moose is back in the play, and we're on a 3-on-3. This is the most important round of the entire match, and Shot Up is coming up big again.
He also has the Empress. You hear the players moving over. Shot Up's going to get all the info that he wants, and he gets the kill. He's got 3. He's potentially looking for more. Stellar understanding he has to peek it. He saw the gun barrel there. He knows where he's coming from. Little jiggle, a little dance. Stellar gets him. A 1v2, and I don't know that Stellar can do anything here, Sean.
No, he can't. He's going to have to save this gun. And, I mean, we don't have insight to what their economy is at this second, but based on the fact that Moose won a 1-on-4 the prior round, and even the round before that was close, there's no way Luminosity has money this round. I'm just going to gamble and say they cannot have a good buy. Yeah, sure enough. This is going to be a really sketchy buy. A couple people on 2-2. So the fact that he saves this gun means they can get, maybe 2-3 rifles, and it goes from an unwinnable round to all we have to do is just make one play. Yeah. One play to open up the round, get the 5-on-4, and then we can rotate around accordingly. Their utility is going to be kind of a little bit... No, actually, they have everything other than the Cypher cages. And
keep in mind, Immortals has the lockdown. Right now, fully stacking towards A. And the thing is, Sean, from this point, it's not like a Proto is holding down from defender spawn on A with an op, right? Like, they can fully send here and it be a problem, but it looks like they're getting cold feet and they're pulling off. Oh, no. Look at how much space Moose is taken away.
Oh, my God. I don't think he's going to recognize, though, that there's all these people in spawn. He might have heard a little shuffle.
But see, the thing is, he takes all that space away. They think the hit's not at B, but it is over on B. You saw them rotate towards A because they thought that's where it was going to be. And Moose drops. He took all that space away, and it was a problem.
They know. Look at the speed now coming out of Immortals. When you find someone in that location, you know no one's in B. They just immediately start booking it towards B. They drop the lockdown just to secure the round. Very well played from Immortals.
Crazy to think that it was the space that they took that proved to be their downfall in that moment.
30 seconds left.
It's a 3v2 though, and it's decently winnable here, right? Dre is weak. He's gonna get healed up. Doesn't have any armor, but what he does have is that playmaking ability, that X factor that we've seen out of him so many times. Clock continuing to tick away.
Yeah, they need a kill in the next 5 seconds or this is a save. They need it now.
They're going. The paranoia. Dre drops down. Stellar got that one kill that you asked for. Dre looking for more, but Gangster responds just fine. He gets 3 huge kills to tie us up at 11, Sean.
Oh, no. Oh, no. LG invested everything they had into that prior round.
Yep.
Feeling lucky, Doug, because we're about to see the Bucky. Let's go. Let's go. Right clicks galore this round. This is by no means free for Immortals.
And remember, Sean, the last time we saw Luminosity rocking the Bucky, that's where things turned.
Yes.
Right? That's where Luminosity sucked took all of the wind out of Immortals' sails, and then they did it again the following round.
They'll avoid them, though. If they hit this A site, the Buckies will not be close from.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That went sideways. That went sideways very quickly. Absolutely free sight. And the space that they're going to take away. Immortals playing for blood, bro. They're going for the jugular.
One enemy remaining.
Mike, the way Shot Up has taken over this game at the tail end of this half is unreal.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Flawless round from Immortals to put them on 12.
Match point.
Okay.
Match
All right.
point.
Let's talk about Luminosity here. What do they have? Right? They've got the Empress from Thief. They've got the Neural Theft from a Proto. 1 point away from the Showstopper. 1 point away from the Shadows. That was a weird thing to say. And on the side of Immortals, they've got a couple of ults to cook up of their own, but the arguably two of the more impactful ones are not in the equation.
Yeah, and they have to switch things up. They recognize this A site is too weak with only a Cypher there. They switch up. They put 3 players on the A site. But this is going to be a B hit. I mean, based on what I'm seeing on the minimap, this will probably end later on towards the B site.
Patience and so much space taken away from Immortals. You see Shot Up playing over, clearing out what tripwire that would normally be there. It's not there. See them stacking up around the wall, expecting monkey business just on the other side, but really no one's home. Meanwhile, if they can continue to take some space away towards vents, towards A, they may have a play, but
oh no, something to look out for here is JC Sonny has his ult in B main as a lurker. If he wanted to, he could fake B and ult all the way to A and just be in the play, and it would be an excellent fake. But it looks like he's going to back out, move slow back towards his teammates. They're going to regroup on this A site. I don't think they recognize, that Cypher is playing B, and this is a different look.
He might be the tip of the spear, actually, if he chooses to ult in. There's the ult in onto the site. That's going to get plenty of info. Great paranoia, but not going to really provide as much as you would think. Shot Up gets the first kill. JC Standy is on the site. That's going to give Immortals room as well as they try to put Luminosity away. Chemicals playing tight on these corners as the spike goes down. Luminosity in a pretty brutal spot here as they try to take the site back. The wall's going to go up too, just continuing to delay things. And the problem is, Sean, they're going to have to funnel in all from the same side. They have to be one-dimensional and they're pushing. That's what happens when you don't have options. Shot Up continues to pop off. I think he had like 26,000 kills that map as Immortals